Hello, I am Ben Bold, you are you, and welcome back to another episode of our Icenia campaign. I don't know about you guys, but I am excited to finally hit this button, Embrace Autocracy. I can do it as soon as Venta gets, 50 civilization, and currently it's at 49, but that should turn to 50 very, very quickly. Anyway, we have just conquered some more neighbors. And yeah, so let's go ahead and look at some of the regions we've conquered. I am interested in changing their culture. It looks like my government policy already is the cultural conversion, except for up here, which, I mean, they are my culture group. I'm not too worried about turning them all into Icenis just yet. That really does help when we start to colonize though, so I will need to be converting, especially these northern provinces, and when I move into Ireland, all of those populations into Icenia. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. Leather, that's great. Speaking of trade routes, let's see. Nope, still no one to trade with. I will also take these precious metals, why not? Let's look at inventions, anything good? I think I will go ahead and get the, well, I'm going to gain some more money first. I'm also going to keep building up my navy. Let's go ahead and just give it another boat, shall we? First of all, I love how the Iceni name just kind of arcs over the British Isle. I do think this game is beautiful. I think no matter whether you think the gameplay or not is good, I know there's been a lot of controversy about that, we have to acknowledge that the map itself is beautiful, even if some people do have issues with how the UI looks. I personally don't mind it too much, although I can see why some people are a little upset. So I am looking at other avenues of expansion. My manpower is ticking up nicely. Same with political influence. I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to hit the install prevention. No, I'm going to wait until I buy the invention. I will go ahead and do that. Military artisans. Perfect. Now I'll get this for just a little bit cheaper, save some of that political influence, and wouldn't you know it, I have an event. Right after I spent some money, I have an event that wants me to spend even more money to gain some political influence and some loyalty. I just don't have the money anymore. She will lose 40 loyalty. That is quite a lot, but it cannot be helped at the current moment. And it's fine. I'm not super worried about it. I'm going to go ahead and move this army back there. And is this one of my armies or... Okay, so is this one of my armies? This is one of my armies. I'm going to move them... they can stay where they are. I think I will recruit a few more mounted skirmishers. And then I need to find a leader for you. Who would be a good leader? You have 7. I wouldn't mind something because I see this army as mostly a sieging army, or just and so I'm happy with the gathering, with the slave efficiency. Looks like someone was born. That's very nice. Looks like I have the option for another omen. That is great. I think in this case I want some extra money. So I am actually going to go with national slave output. I do at this point have a good portion of slaves, although many of my, I have a good portion of slaves in these two provinces, although most of my other provinces are still very tribal. So whenever I start moving from the governor policy to convert culture, I will probably start trying to maybe first civilize and then promote. So I'm looking to do that relatively quickly. I have an available decision. You know what that means. It is time. I have 57 stability. I think that sets me up nicely. I wouldn't mind to have a little bit more, but I think that sets me up nicely to hit the button, embrace autocracy, and change from a tribe to a kingdom. I do think that I haven't... well, let's see what happens. We have lost quite a bit of stability. We knew that was going to happen. And we have enacted Embrace Autocracy. Sonorous, inspired by the kings and tyrants of foreign lands, might exert a greater authority by discarding the tribal trappings of our ancestors. We are now the Iceni Kingdom, no longer a tribe. And that means that all of these cohorts that were under our tribal vassals are now our own. Oh, I just had a civic advancement. How nice. Our second tech for the game. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. First of all, oh, it looks like I have completely new jobs. So I have a Chancellor. What does the Chancellor do? I do wish that when you hovered over this, when you didn't have a, I guess this, yeah, there's no thing that tells me exactly like what the Chancellor does. What does the Chancellor do? I mean, I know I want someone, oh, I know I want someone who has high charisma, but what does it do? Anyway, I cannot hire any office workers, any characters to be to hold any offices because my stability is not above 30. It's going to get there very soon, in just a few months. It's ticking up by 0.45 each month. I might be able to increase that. I don't have the required political power to do that, although I will very shortly. I do have some free idea slots. This is also going to cost me some political influence to do. So I might want to... No, I'll go ahead and do at least 2 of these. I want the martial ethos in my martial slot. I think that that would be better than any of these. Yeah, 10% morale of armies is good. Civic advancements, national commerce income, national slave output would be really good. Let's see. I'm making most of my money via taxes. My taxes come from my slaves. So in this case, I think I'm going to go ahead and take national slave output. And then I can't do it yet. I don't have the political influence. But as far as my religious idea, I think I'll probably start, and I might change this up a little bit later, but I think I'll probably start with country civilization level up 5% with a monthly civilization change across my entire country. That just seems like it would be very helpful. I could also go for loyalty of subject states, which I just don't have. And what's the other one that I can get? It would be origin myth, monthly ruler popularity gain. That could be helpful. Let's take a look at what my ruler looks like. He is now no longer a tribal chief, but instead the king, which means his prime. We now have to start thinking about our heirs. Ooh, his heir is not amazing, or is not an amazing soldier. That will be okay, I guess. Not really. It's less than ideal. Let's see what my economy looks like. I am making a lot more money despite having a lot more troops. So I'm not really sure what has happened here. Maybe I got significantly more tax income now that I don't have... now that I'm no longer tribal. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe after a month, the Paradox Gods will change that into a negative number. But right now, it seems like I'm making plenty of cash. Yet I still can't have anyone trade with me. That's okay. As I said, my stability is going to tick up. That's going to be fine. I do have pretty high pretender support, which isn't amazing. This lady, she seems pretty loyal, and so she wants to recruit some light infantry. She might become more ambitious, or she could lose 10 loyalty. These would be loyal to her, which means they're not going to cost me money. Now I just have to go around and consolidate my armies. So now, kind of the unfortunate thing now is that all of my army losses are going to come out of my own manpower, which isn't great, but I do have plenty of manpower at this point. I also have a pretty nice manpower recovery speed with 222 men per month. That's not terrible. I still have all my alliances correct. Nothing has shifted there. I am not allied with anyone in the north, so I'm going to go ahead and fabricate a claim. Well, I will when I get enough political influence, that is. Let's take a look at Venta. It can't civilize anymore, at least at the moment. I can think about building a building there, although I'm going to need more funds. Yeah, we're kind of in a holding pattern. We are just kind of watching and waiting. I'm going to put you... he's the son of a general, and he's the primary rival of our heir. That doesn't sound great. You are much more loyal. Oh, but you have such good siege ability. You should go in charge of my light infantry stack, shouldn't you? Is this me? Yeah, I'm going to change and put my very loyal sieger in charge of my sieging stack down here. I now have enough stability. I can hire some officers. I'll hire you. And you get aggressive expansion impact -9 per month. That's good. I guess I'll go with you. You seem cool. Sacrifice to God's cost, -16%. Army maintenance, or mercenary maintenance. You, I believe, gives me an increased manpower recovery. No, just increased morale of armies, which is also very useful, so I'm glad I got saved the 7 marshal for this slot. Oh, it looks like one of my tribal allies is requesting if they may bring war upon Dobunia. If we accept, we will break our alliance with the Dobunia. If we reject, the Cantesians may complain, but will follow our command. Let's look at the Dobunians. They're allied with the... No. Who are you allied with? You're allied with... I think they just want me to break the alliance with the Dobunians. You know what? Oh, it looks like it may have timed out. War proposal shot down. Whoops. I actually was about to take that. Oh well, that's what you get for not pausing the game when you hit an event like that, and I do not have it set to auto-pause. I'm going to hire you. You give me 28% omen power. That is very good. That's going to make me much richer. Because right now my omens are working on slave output. I'll hire you just because you're more loyal. Or this will increase your loyalty if I hire you, so why not? Monthly legitimacy up. That's good. I am currently very legitimate, although it changes by -0.08 each month. That is mostly because of the negative stability and the support for pretenders. I'll have to check out what the pretenders are doing in just a second. I'll hire you. Sure, what do you do? Increase national tax rate by 10%. That's amazing. And I'll hire you. It helps my health by 4%. Alright, so I'm really liking the officers I have. They all look good. They're all pretty loyal, except for my court philosopher. But, let's see. She's almost dead anyway, so that's not going to matter. I don't really want to lose stability. I do want to gain stability. This seems like a win-win. Yeah, I'll just gain 5 stability and 10 loyalty from my high priest. I'm okay with that. Stability's increased. That's going to help my legitimacy stay high. I now have 20 political influence. So let's see. Do I want the origin myth, or do I want to help the rest of my country civilize? I'm thinking. Let's look at the popularity of my ruler. He is pretty popular, but it's degrading by 0.5 per month. That is quite a bit. Let me look. Oh, yep. As I said, she died. I think, though, that right now what will help me the most... Yeah, I think what's going to help me the most is if I try to civilize my country a little bit. You're very loyal, your loyalty is staying the same, your popularity is decreasing. So I will go ahead and hire you as my new court philosopher. Its monthly legitimacy up by 0.5. That's okay. And still, no one to trade with. Alright, let's keep the clock rolling, and let's look at some of the pretenders we have here. So, the main successor is going to be my son, Lucterius Sonorus. He is not exactly a gifted military mastermind, but he is very loyal. which I guess is good. Most of the characters in the realm support him. However, 2 support Divicacus Sonorus. He is a high chief. He's also a pretender. Is he also my son? Let's see. Yeah, there he is. He is also my son. And then, yeah, my youngest son, it looks like, is also here. He's only 1 year old. He is probably not going to become king. My current king is 78, and yeah, he's going to die soon. So very soon, unless I decide to do something drastic, which I don't think I will. I think even though he has 0 martial, I'm going to let him become king. Against my better judgment, he has 0 finesse, which, while my current Luctarius won't be the greatest military mastermind, he probably won't be leading from the front at all. He does have high finesse, which is going to help lock down, well, it's going to help us stay a little richer. Maybe he can marry someone with a high martial. So actually go ahead and arrange his marriage. I haven't been playing the marriage game too much because I've been in a tribe. Haven't really worried about my leaders' kids all that much, or even the leaders to that event. But I am going to go ahead and hire. Is this my court physician? Yes, but she's only 19. She'll hopefully be very fertile. Oh, or she might have just died. No, she didn't. She's right there. I'm going to go ahead and hire her. Or, not hire her. I'm going to marry her. I'm going to have my son marry her. Congratulations, son. I'm also going to have you marry this person. Well, let's look at... She has Mintagra. I actually am going to have her marry Icenia, or however you say it. And I'm going to let the festivities begin. Good job. My two sons are now hopefully happily married. We will see, though, how those marriages turn out. Still making plenty of cash. I might actually think about hiring some mercenaries for the next war, whatever it may be. Whether it's against the Dubunians, who are currently allied with both of my other southern neighbors, or it's probably going to be against the Votani. As I said, it's rather difficult to pronounce a lot of the names in this game. I could start thinking about colonizing the Isle of Man. That could be helpful. I need more than 10 pops in any of those settlements, and then all those, they have to be a majority Iceni, which, you know, I am converting culture slowly. I'm also increasing my civilization value. I'm gaining a whopping 2.35 political influence per month. That is great. I'm also gaining 4.62 ducats per month. That is even better. I'm going to go ahead and build another academy here in Venta. Venta is just becoming a just very important city. It's so important, it would be an absolute travesty if it ever fell. I might even consider giving it an extra 4 level. Just because it would be very detrimental to my country if someone were just able to sneak behind my lines and siege down Venta real quick. I also think I'm going to get rid of the fort here. That might have been a mistake. My plan is to either move the fort a little closer to my border, or better yet, once I finish fabricating this claim, I will attack this nation and then build a fort somewhere up in the north. The idea there is that will hopefully protect me, or at least give me some warning time from any barbarians that might spawn up in the wilds of modern-day Scotland. I think I'll go ahead and take this invention for -5 build cost. Will just help me in the future. And man, you can see that my research rate is really cooking now. I am getting 12.6 research points per month. That means my next military advance will actually be this century. It'll be in year 520 at the current rate. Oh, I guess it is actually the next century because we are still in 499. But it isn't so far down the road anymore. I could gain some tyranny and also gain some gold, or I could lose to legitimacy, lose some popularity, lose some loyalty. Although here the general of the 4th warband will lose 20 loyalty. That would bring her down to 60. Yeah, I think that this is better than losing some legitimacy and losing loyalty anyway, even though I'm not super worried about her. If she does decide to rebel, she decides to rebel. I will crush her. I continue to just kind of rake in the money. That is going to be great. I'm going to continue building my fleet. I kind of mentioned in the last episode that one of my main goals... A little 2 ships. One of my main goals relatively soon is to start maybe just declaring war on some of the nations in Northern Gaul. Not necessarily with the intent to capture, although I might decide to try to take some land if I get a little ambitious. But the primary goal is to just take slaves. Looks like my academy is finally finished in Venta. That's good. Let's take a look at some of my other major population centers, see what we can do there. I cannot build any more buildings here. In fact, Interesting. Do I get a free province investment? Because Icenia spends 1 of province... I have 2 free investments? Okay. Well, shoot. I think I'm just going to increase build slots and increase build slots again? Yeah. Alright, once again, I have a war proposal this time on pause so I can kind of think it through. Looks like I have an alliance breaking the Cantesians. Oh, I'm not afraid of you. Although if let's see what happens. They want to break the alliance. Okay, not great, admittedly, but also not something that I am super worried about at this point. I don't think there's anyone on the British Isles that can stop the glorious Icenians. They want me to attack Dabunia. If I accept their offer, I will break my alliance with the Dabunians, and there's no guarantee that this will bump up their happiness with me, whether their opinion of me, bump up their opinion of me in any way. So there's a chance that I do this and the Dabunians, and then they also continue to break my alliance. And then I have broken my alliance with both the Dabunians and the Cantesians. And that would not be amazing. Or I could... Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to accept their offer. I am not afraid. And yeah, it does look like that made them happy with me. So I'm not afraid of these my southern neighbors in the slightest. I am making a lot of money, so and I have a pretty high manpower, so I can continue to just kind of push in troops, even though they are mostly tribal. So they do have all those tribal cohorts, which is something. Yeah, see, they ask me to attack, but then they're still going to defend them. If I were to attack, they would still defend them. So, yeah, thanks, y'all. It's okay. I'll forgive them. I'm going on the warpath anyway. Anyway, as I was saying, I was thinking about trying to attack some provinces in Gaul. Not necessarily with the idea of taking... Do I want to lose food? Yeah, I'll just lose some money. Not necessarily with the idea of taking territory per se, but instead the idea of taking slaves, pushing more and more pops into the British Isles. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put you in charge of my navy. You have monthly repair at sea, and in honor of my king becoming the admiral of our grand fleet, I will go ahead and hire just a few more boats, since I'm making plenty of cash. Oh, he is now depressed. I have a feeling he is not long for this world. In fact, just then, just as I mentioned that he will probably die soon, there he goes. And we have a new king, Lucturius Sonorus, Lucturius the First. So our stability does drop. That is a shame. Poor Sonorus, the Elder, has died. I need a researcher for civic advancements. I will go with you. You're relatively loyal. That's awesome. And now your loyalty should be increasing monthly. Let's take a look at the Pretender situation. My little brother, Divicacus Sonorus, oh, look at this. I have a religious advancement. I'll get to that right now. Right away. Let's look at the Pretender situation, though. First, Divicacus Sonorus, he is the high priest, and he wants to be king. If I were to die today, he would be the next king. However, I don't plan on dying today. Let's see. Do I have any children yet? I don't have any children, but hopefully I will have some children soon. That will mean that probably one of my child will become the primary heir. If I don't have any children, though, I think Divicacus should be a decent king. He has a decent marshal, at least, and he is a very high religious power, which what happens to... So I would get war exhaustion down and stability change up. I mean, both of those are good, but actually I kind of think that Divicacus is in a better location where he is as high priest. Yeah, so I don't necessarily want him to be king. I want him to stay high priest. So hopefully I will have a child. Hopefully I will live to a very old age, and my child will be relatively popular when he becomes king, because my current king is relatively unpopular, only 29.8% popularity. That's going to mean that my legitimacy is going to hurt. My legitimacy, excuse me, is changing by negative 0.35 per month. Let's look at his popularity. It is currently going down by negative 0.07 per month. That is because he is selfish. What a selfish guy. With that said, I knew I might do it. I think I'm going to go with Origin Myth. I want his popularity up high. That should help me out quite a bit. So now his popularity is increasing by 0.25 per month. That's going to increase his popularity rather quickly. All right, let's look at the religious advancement. That's great. Let's see what kind of inventions I got. Not that I can afford any at the moment anyway, but I can get some national pop growth. That would be great. I can also get pop conversion speed up. I think that's going to be the very first thing I get when I have 71 ducats. And then primary culture happiness. And I would take that as well. So it looks like once I get enough money, I have kind of a plan on what to do with the inventions. My claim is currently still fabricating at 0.2 or at 2.5 per month. That's great. I think once I get enough political influence, I'll also go ahead and make a claim on the Dabunians down here, because they really, the Cantasians really do want me to attack. And, well, I think it's time to do that as well. Although I would have loved it if I was able to pick off these countries one at a time, or at least one to begin with. I don't really want to fight all three of them because, hey, let's take it out. Take a look. They have 18 cohorts. Oh, let's deal with this real quick. I could have one of my warbands. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. Uh-oh. My brother, Divicacus, could get hurt. Let's see if that happened. Divicacus, are you wounded? No, he's fine. He just lost 10 loyalty, which is a shame. But it is what it is. Let's take a look at how many cohorts they have. 18. 18, 22. Okay. So they do, the three of them combined have more cohorts than I do. Right? Let's look at my cohorts. I have 51. So, yeah, that would be a tough-fought battle if I were to declare war on them. I'm going to need to either pick them off one at a time, which I don't think is going to be possible. Because, yeah, they are all allied with each other. There's a nice little power block alliance down here, which we use that power block alliance to really expand quite a bit. I still feel like I am in complete control. I do think that if I did fight a war between all three of them, I would win it. It's just one that would be very costly, and I'm not sure I want to do that, at least not before uniting the rest of Britain under my control. With that said, that claim is about 50% done, and so we will be looking to go to war with them soon. In the meantime, I am still looking to civilize all of these countries. Is there anything? I think I'm going to go ahead and start, now that I have the political influence. Well, yeah. So now that I have the political influence, like this province for one, I'm going to go ahead and change this governor policy from encourage trade and change that to civilization effort. That should bump up my civilization speed by quite a bit. Yeah, by 0.16 every month. That's going to be good. It's going to mean that I can have more pops in my cities. The barbarian growth, well, there's no barbarians anywhere near here, I guess. But if there were, their growth would go down. Migration attraction goes up. Let's look here. Yeah, and so my current max civilization value in my capital is actually 58. Was it just 59? Did it just go down? It is. It's going down by 0.1 per month due to the fact that the Iceni don't have a higher civilization than 55. Okay. Now, how do I increase the Iceni? That's a tech increase, so I would need techs, correct? Which tech is it? I guess it's civic advancements, and my next civic advancement won't be until March of 525. So that's going to be a little while. I'm going to go ahead and get this pop conversion speed up. That's going to help push more of my pops toward the Iceni culture. Ooh, do you know what I could do? Yeah. No, that would be a bad idea. I was going to say what I could do is declare war on this country here. I still could. I could declare like a show naval superiority war. The Canticians would not join. I would kind of want the Canticians to join because I want to, at this point, if at any point I can pick off one of these three countries down here in the south, I would gladly do so, but it might be just a minute. My war fabrication is progressing nicely. In the meantime, I think I'm going to look to increase your civilization value as well. And then in just a minute, I will increase yours as well. I think I'm good with pop assimilation speed for a minute. Yeah, they are predominantly Iceni. That's good. That also means that I might start pushing some pops into this country, or this settlement. Because if they are primarily Iceni pops, I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. I'm going to move some Iceni pops there. I don't really necessarily care where they come from, as long as they're Iceni. And now that I've done that, I should be able to press the colonize button on the Isle of Man. Which actually means I need a whole new governor, because the Isle of Man is not a part of the Britannia region. It is... well, wait. No, it is. No. It can't be. Yeah, it is part of the Caledonian region. So I now have to get a whole new governor just for the Isle of Man, and I'm thinking it's going to go to, let's see, effective governor, effective ruler, effective governor or local freeman happiness. Well, I have one freeman, that's good. And effective governor, local freeman output. Yeah, all right, you get to be the governor of Caledonia, at least for the time being. Uh-oh, one of my generals is wanting to recruit 5 loyal cohorts of a random type. He is pretty loyal. Let's see if his loyalty is going up or down. His loyalty is going down significantly per month. So I don't love this idea. He is a pretender, and that would be why his loyalty is going down by a lot per month. So if I could say that this will have unfortunate consequences, he will lose a lot of loyalty and a lot of loyalty really quickly. I will also lose 5 stability, or I could just get a bigger army, and that he would pay for it. Of course, with him paying for it, they are also loyal to him, so he could pose a threat, especially if some of my other commanders decide to rebel with him. This one is a little frightening. I do think that I'm just going to go ahead and say, what could go wrong? Sign them up. I may eat those words later. It looks like the Cantasians are ready to break their alliance with me. That's unfortunate. It looks like I have a barbarian issue up in the north. As long as they are held by my fort. You see, he recruited them, and now I have to move them somewhere. I guess I will move them to Vedia. I will move this army. No. Let's see, where can I move them? Move them down to Camalodunum. Move my sieging army up north. I'm going to move these 2 armies closer to the barbarian threat. The horsemen will get there rather quickly. It is time that I have a new omen. Because I see myself going to war and going to war relatively quickly, and potentially against my alliance block down here, I think it might be helpful if I just went ahead and stocked up a little bit extra on manpower. I'm still making plenty of cash at 3.2 ducats per month. Of course, I could go for more technology with the citizen output. Or monthly civilization change. Ooh, this is a tough sell. Civilization change helps. I mean, they all help. They're all good, except for maybe the tribesman happiness or the war exhaustion. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say manpower recovery speed. That's just going to mean that I get more men back per month. I'm going to try my best to keep you happy by just very briefly improving opinion. They have a truce. But they're still in an alliance. Okay. I am just going to try to keep them happy. We'll see how well that works. My claim is almost done fabricating up north. Do you have any allies? Will you bring any allies in? You have a subject nation. Oh, that's fine. I am not worried. They really don't like me anymore. I have a feeling that the Cantasians are going to probably get rid of this alliance. And I have a feeling that the next major conflict, I'm not including my little war up here to to take some of Caledonia, but I have a feeling the next major conflict on the British island is going to be spawned by this border right here over the Thames. London against Camalodunum. Anyway, let's do just a quick recap before I end the episode here. Looking at what the world looks like. No clear favorite in Gaul as of yet. No one seems to have kind of jumped out to the quick lead and conquered a bunch of territory that would make me think that, okay, we're going to have one major opponent in Gaul. Unlike in Hispania, which seems like it's going to be a battle between the Belii and the Carthaginians. Carthage is slowly but yet very steadily expanding their influence base in Iberia. They have locked down... Let's see, are you loyal to Carthage? No, they're not. So they have mostly locked down North Africa, although they still have a couple holdouts. I believe these are both loyal to Carthage. Yeah, they're going to be subject states. In the Italian peninsula, Italy seems more interested in dealing with affairs in Gaul versus dealing with affairs in Italy. I'm very surprised that it's year 500, and they have not even expanded to the eastern edge of the Italian peninsula. That is not... that's not really what I would be looking for. I want to see a powerful Rome because I want to later face a powerful Rome. Even if Rome beats me, I want the end boss of the campaign, or of any campaign I play in Imperator Rome, even if I'm playing way out here in, even if I'm the Kush down here in southern Egypt, I want there to be a strong Rome because I want to eventually have to interact with them. Maybe if I can push up to the Nile Delta region. I want Rome to be expanding and conquering much of the coastline, just like they did in history. Anyway, moving on. In Greece, we have the Macedons. It looks like they're fighting a war. No, they are very peaceful people right now. They seem to be pretty content. They haven't expanded in a while. Thrace looks to be fighting a war just in the northern steppes. Phrygia has solidified a little bit. And of course, the Seleucids have fallen apart. Even the Marians, seems like they have a big revolt on their hands. I would be interested to see what happens there if that country splits, regains control, or perhaps becomes a whole new country altogether. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. We didn't have a lot of territorial expansion in this episode, but we did move from a tribe into a great British kingdom. I've been Ben the Bold, you have been you, and I'll see you tomorrow.